Hi everyone, this is Natasha and I'm going to do, I guess, a review and then a by request all-in-one video. So a recent video that I did of a Harbor Freight haul, I showed this hobby tool kit that I bought, and it was on special for $10, and it includes one professional tool, which is right here heating up. I already have the blade on it with the blade housing, so I'm not going to touch it because it is heating up. A little kickstand, which is not foldable, so it's just the basic kickstand, and it comes in a case. So let me show you exactly what was inside the case. And I knew this was made in China, so I wasn't expecting anything really fancy. But because it was $10 and my other tool, which is from Walnut Hollow, made for her or designed for her, was $17 on sale. So I figured this is a better alternative for those of you who are looking to save a few dollars, and if it essentially does the same thing, then why not? So this is a 5-in-1 hobby tool kit, including the professional tool, which I just showed you, which is heating up right there. 4 wood burning points, all-purpose script, grading, and dot. 3 soldering tips, fine, chisel, and pointed. 2 tips, cutting and fusing, safety hanger, and case. So I just slipped this off, and I'm just going to put this off right here so you can still see it. So here's the first thing. This is the cheapest plastic container. It even feels funny, like, ugh. And then the label is barely attached, but you know. So this is what this label says. Warning. Read instruction manual before using. Always wear ANSI approved safety goggles when working with tools. Do not remove this warning label. Well, this label was falling off. Distributed by Harbor Freight. So, and then the bottom has the hobby tool warning. Product is in use for soldering and summer application. Produces chemicals known to the state of California to cause cancer and birth defects or other reproductive harm. California Health and Safety Code. So, and the rest of the country doesn't recognize this? I don't know. So, feels icky. Like I want to wash my hands, kind of icky. And then I opened it up, and inside was the tool, the stand, and this. And this is where the cord was lying. But there's no instructions. It's not a false bottom. It's a one-piece welded plastic. So let me put this aside and show you what's inside this. It had, this is a separate piece. It's already heating up. I'm not going to touch it. This is one piece. That's a second piece, and the blade is a third piece. So those 3 pieces. And this was really difficult to open, so I had to pry it open with one of these little pokey tools that I have for my clay work, because I don't want to sacrifice one of my nails. So I have it pried open, and here's what was inside. And since there's no instructions, your guess is as good as mine. Spring, a hanging tool, safety. I don't know what I almost swore. I don't know what that is. Ooh. Okay, so I'm assuming this is the engraving tip because it's really, really fine. Look at how fine that is. Oh, and pardon my cracked nail. So it screws on to the housing. So let's put that back. I don't know. Really? So this looks like a little bullet, but I'm assuming that's another wood burning tool. And there's the chisel end, or chisel attachment, also with a screw end. I don't know what this paddle thingy is. And then there's these 3 pieces. So again, I don't know. I just recognize what the blade looks like. So I have my 2 safety tips on because I'm going to show you how I trim my stamps. I know I have other videos, but I wanted to see how this works. So the second part of this is I've gotten several requests to show which of these stamps I'm separating, and I already have them cut. I have everything cut and mounted on my, and this is the little wood block that my cousin Jason, or my husband's cousin Jason, made for me, so I don't damage my work surface. So I'm just make some more room. So you see I have all my rubber stamps mounted on the cling cushion foam, and this is the non-sticky side. Oh, sorry, white balance. Okay, this is the non-sticky side, but I'm going to leave that on for now. And let's get started separating this. So what I do initially, I just use my wood block underneath. I don't really need these yet until I hold it. Well, I don't know if you could see, but there's smoke rising from the blade. I don't know if you could see that. It's going to stink, so be prepared for that. So I'm just going to do some rough separating. No, it's not hot enough yet. Or maybe it is. Alright. Let me put this down for a minute. This paper backing is going to make the cutting a little more cumbersome, so I'm going to peel it off. And as you could see, I've really optimized all of my spacing. So let's see. I'm gonna hold, and if you want to be really cautious, I would say put your little finger protectors on, because it's only gonna protect you from the heat, but it's not a bad idea. So what I'm doing is I don't think it's gotten hot enough yet. Oh yeah, the closer it is to the handle, the hotter it is. So I'm just going to separate these into manageable pieces and then cut them. Oh yeah, it's starting to stink. So if you can, do this in a ventilated area. So I'm trying not to look at my camera so I could do this. Alright, this seems to heat up pretty quickly, so that's good. And I'm just going to trim these first 2 manageable pieces and then do the individual ones. Whew. Oh, so stinky. Okay, so let's see. Sometimes it's easier to do vertical. You have to be careful not to let this slip. See the smoke rising? And as you could see, I've pre-trimmed my rubber because it's easier for the hot knife to just go through the foam, the cushion foam, rather than the foam and the rubber. I tried that initially, just doing both, and I found that I like the results of having see, you could see the stuff is burning, the residue is burning on there, and that's okay. So I'm going to do some rough cuts and then pile them up and then do the fine piece removal. See, like these 2 are ready for the final work, but I'm just going to go roughly around. And it seems like it's heating up differently, like the tip's not quite as hot. That's why I'm having to put the foam closer to the handle. I've had this on for a little bit. It's not like I just plugged it in. Let's see if, yeah, see, you could see right here the blade tip is not quite hot, so it's forcing me to use this portion of the blade. It's okay. So you get the idea. So I'm just going to roughly separate the stamps and then go back and do the fine cutting. So the one thing that I'm trying not to do is undercut under the stamps, because then the impressions won't be clear, especially on the edges. So you want to stay as perpendicular on the foam as possible, because that will prevent the undercutting. And I'll show you an example of undercutting. And always try to cut away from yourself. Let me just grab a piece. Here, I'll cut a piece off and I'll show you what I mean about undercutting. So if you have an image, let's say I had a stamp on here and I aimed it instead of perpendicular. See, it's hard to tell on that. Hold on, let me see if I can find you a better example. So if I cut the foam at an angle under the stamp, the impression won't be clean. So that's why you want to make sure that when you get to, oh my god, the circulation's getting cut off my thumb here, so I have to take that off. I'll be careful. So let me get one that I've already separated. So here's one. And I'm going to carefully work this way, like I'm peeling. Don't touch this, that's hot too. So I'm going to try and be careful not to do that. So I'm keeping it perpendicular, and then I'm scooping the pieces off. And see, I have to keep it closer. And this is where it helps that you've already have the rubber trimmed. So the rubber is working as a guide of sorts, so you're not undercutting it. And the reason I use this wood block is then I can scrape the extra pieces. See? So see, I could trim this down a little more. So that's that. And I'll go back and do that in a minute. I just want to show you that stamp that I had questions on. So this is, let's see, where is it? Oh, I haven't gotten to them, so let me just move this aside. I know my videos lately have been really, really long, so I'm trying to kind of be mindful of that. But sometimes you can't explain in a very quick video, so, and I want to make sure that I'm giving all the necessary information. Now you see I've butted these up very closely to each other. Another way that you could trim these is, if you had mostly straight edges on things, is you can use a rotary cutter as well. So, but for this I'm gonna separate them with, oh, my blade's moving, look at that. See, I'm not a big fan of this. It shouldn't be moving, so I'm just gonna push it in the opposite direction. So hopefully that'll take care of it. Alright, so I'm going to show you exactly which stamps I have separated. Let me move. I think there's another one. So it's this carousel piece right here. It's under my thumb. I'm just trying to be cautious because I don't want to slip, and I certainly don't want to cut myself, and I don't want to see, it's not heating up. I'm not sure if I'm a huge fan of this yet. I suppose if you're not doing a lot of cutting, see, it's see, I just burnt myself. See how that's bending? That's not good. And I did attach it pretty tightly. I don't like that. Maybe you do get what you pay for. Perhaps I won't use this for fine trimming, because some of these smaller pieces I really would want the ability to do the fine details. Okay, so I think I have, so the fleur-de-lis is part of the carnival tickets, so that's one. I'm gonna put these aside. The horse right here is another one. Make sure you don't have any small kids around when this is on, because it's easy to get distracted. And you know that whole saying, the moment you're doing something that requires your full and undivided attention, you're urgently needed. So I'm doing this really late at night while my husband is asleep, and hopefully the dogs don't really need me either. Okay, so then I need this horse's head, and I'm just referring to the image right here. So I need, let me just separate these. I tried to do the straight edges as much as possible because those are the easiest to maneuver. And I just realized I'm trying to be quiet, so I wonder if the sound's going to be... I'm doing this on my webcam because I have another video processing from my regular camera. It's not a bad idea when you're using something like a hot tool that you keep either a moist towel or a towelette next to you in case you do accidentally touch something hot, which I did not have prepared this time around. So I have the horse's head, the carousel horse, the fleur-de-lis. I think this is the, oh my gosh, this thing right here. Then the ticket blank, but then let me just separate this from the sewing set. And the sewing set is gorgeous. I've already stamped all of these stamps. See, this is not, I don't like the fact that it's tilting out. And I'll be honest, if I am not a fan of something, I'm gonna tell you honestly, I think that my other knife works a little better, but it is, you know, almost half the price. So this is the little hot dog cart, and be careful when you're doing the small pieces because this is where you're bound to be closer. So this is the hot dog cart, and then these are all the words. So I have the, let me just get this ticket separated. See, it's bending. I don't like that. Makes it a little less than safe as far as I'm concerned. So there's the ticket, and then there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 words. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the 1 penny, and there's total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 12 pieces in this stamp set. So let's do the fine work, and then I can shut this off. Because I think I'm gonna plug my other one in. I trust it a little more. Yeah, definitely. So now you know, even though the set is only $10, the fact that your safety is, yeah, I don't think, I'm definitely not going to give it to my husband because he was going to be doing some woodworking crafts, and I don't really trust him to be as cautious as I'm trying to be. And I certainly don't want him to burn himself. See, the blade is moving, and that's not good. So I don't like that. All right, so I don't think this gets a pass from me. Just so you know. So I'll be honest about that. I don't, you know, I know it's only $10. And perhaps I just needed to tighten this more. So, and it's too late now because, I don't know, let me see if I could use my, maybe it just loosened. Alright, let's see if that helps. Because I certainly want to get this completed and not have to plug in my other one. It's still moving, even though I tightened it. So I might just abandon this. Yeah, I don't like that. So that's not safe. It should be much, see, it's as tight as I could get it. So I'm sorry to say, as much as I had hopes for this, this does not get a pass from me, only because you're dealing with a very hot implement, and if you don't have full control over it, as a matter of fact, I'm just gonna unplug this and call this a fail. So I'm gonna let it cool off, and since I have everything out already, I'm going to get my regular hot knife plugged in and done. So I'm sorry to say that I would not recommend for the investment, the $10 investment. Save your money and get a more reliable, slightly more expensive tool. And this is the one that I have. It's the Walnut Hollow, designed for her creative hot knife. So sorry, I promised to be honest, so there's my honest review. If you have any questions, please leave me a comment. Otherwise, don't forget to stop by Stampers Best. They have some really cool new stamps that have been added. This Carnival, Create a Carnival ticket, the sewing stamp set. I believe Susan just added several more stamps as of yesterday or the day before, which are really cool Americana ones. So there you go. Thanks so much for watching. Again, any questions or if you would like any reviews, please leave me a comment. I will do my best to try to accommodate. Thanks for watching, everyone.